Good afternoon, everybody. This is Diggs. It is raining buckets out here in the Pacific Northwest, but that doesn't matter because we just got the information for Locke Cole, and let me tell you, he's going to be one of the best free units that we've ever been given in the game. We're talking like he's going to be Tidus levels of powerful. Let's go ahead, talk about him, and dig in. Now, I do not say it lightly that Locke is going to be one of the best units in the game. When you go on WoTV Calc, you look at his TMR, you look at kind of the mastery ability that he has. He has increased evasion +5, decreased AP consumption 15. You're like, okay, that's all right. Am I bought in right away? His TMR ability only increases agility 20% and luck 20%. Luel's TMR increases luck 35%, right? And you're kind of looking at it and you're like, oh, is it going to be worth it? Is it good? Well, you don't really see how good he is until you get into his kit and you get into his stats. Because let me tell you, the biggest thing for Locke that he has going for him is that he has the second highest luck in the game next to GL Zazan. So he's going to be evasion, kind of on the evasion level of GL Zazan. And not only that, he's also going to have access to a auto revive. So he's basically a light element GL Zazan. Now, not only does he have access to the second highest luck in the game right now, he also has the 5th highest base attack, and he has a moderate amount of agility coming in at 12th on agility as well, along with some passives that do boost it. So he's going to kind of come in, and for a unit that everybody is going to get access to, he is going to become very powerful very quickly, especially in the global world where we tend to favor more evasive units a lot of the time. And probably the only thing he doesn't have going for him is his dexterity, which, coming in at 119th is pretty bad at 210 dexterity. He doesn't have any 100 hit attacks, so he might not be the most powerful PvP or GVG unit, but he will most definitely shine in any type of light comp or in any type of, this PvE environment that we might find him in. So what else is great about him? Why am I gushing about Locke so hard? Well, let's talk about his passives first. He of course gets a move +1 passive, right? But unlike Shikuchi and these other movement passives, this move passive does give agility +12%. He also gets access to the Secret of the Dagger, unique to kind of his class, defense penetration 40, evasion 12. So you can already see he's gonna be very high evasion, very high agility. Now, what's interesting is you could also go the other route. If you are seeing, for example, like if you are a newer player and you want to bring him into GVG or Arena or something, you could absolutely do that too by setting the Secret of the Nightblade and the Pugilist passive strengthen continuous attacks. That would be an easy way to get a +45 accuracy on him. So he's not fully inept at being able to not hit things. Now, he does also have access to Fighting Spirit, which will give HP 12%, attack 24% on self. Honestly though, you're most likely going to be setting the two kind of treasure hunter passives that he has access to, giving you that evasion, agility, and that movement. Now, on top of all of this, to kind of embrace his survivability, he has the dreaded reflex, which, reflex alone is so powerful and can change the course of an entire battle that I think we're going to be seeing this 100% set on him. He does have access, of course, to Pugilist counter. He has access to counter swing. You're going to be setting this reflex on him. It's going to be that powerful. Now, in terms of his primary ability kit, it's a little interesting because he does, of course, get access to buffs like Camouflage, which will give attack up and evasion rate up. His primary ability, Chakram, which changes to Rising Sun, which I wish he would have just gotten a Rising Sun weapon, would have been very appropriate, is a barrier break at 165x, with decreases attack 43%, which is pretty significant. He, of course, gets his AP Hunt passive, which is essentially AP Drain. He gets Dispel Dagger, which will dispel all buffs, and Dispel Haste for the target. He gets Adventurer's Wisdom, which is a buff that increases counter chance 50 for 3 turns for allies, and increases single target resistance 15 for 3 turns for allies. So this is worded a little bit differently on WoTV Calc than it was on Reddit. If this is an increase in counter chance, imagine the capability of setting this and then having reflex proc at a much higher rate, potentially on other units in your party. It doesn't look like it affects him. It says for allies only. That's still pretty scary. And I mean, I don't know if the plus 50 is accurate for this, but Jesus Christ, imagine a reflex team with Locke would absolutely be a nightmare. Now, his job level 25 ability, incredible as well, is going to grant auto revive, and it's going to grant restore AP 5% for 3 turns to self. So not only are you going to be able to, you know, get an AP buff and get an AP regeneration going here, you're also going to get a self revive, which is incredible. It's great. It's gonna be absolutely bonkers. I think he's going to be so good, especially on the global side. You know, you might pair him with, for example, Jaden. You might pair him with, you know, Jesus. I mean, they have the new Warrior of Crystal, the Light Element Warrior of Crystal, Lucio, who could be a very good pair with him as well. It's just going to be one of those situations where I think he's going to be absolutely one of the most powerful given units that we've ever received. Now, in terms of his sub kit, you know, he does kind of get a, you know, decrease CT and kind of land slow on the target, very similar to Titus. I don't know that you're going to be using this. It doesn't look like it has any damage associated with it. He also gets Confusion Edge, which will be a 25% chance to inflict confusion. I don't think you're going to be using this either. Pugilist sub, of course, is going to, you know, give him a unique option to deal damage. There are times where, you know, I have utilized Camillo's sub-pugilist and been able to really deal some damage, especially back when Camillo first came out. It was a really good way to deal with some of the dark compositions and the Dwaynes that were out there. I think mostly, though, we are going to be setting Nightblade on him, and the most important thing with Nightblade here is that he does have access to Drain Rush. So he is going to be able to do a 3-hit, multi-hit attack on the opponent, drain HP from them, and this, of course, is going to be very PvE, right? This is going to be a very PvE-focused ability for Light Element Chaining. Probably the biggest problem we've had with Light Element Chaining in the past is that it's been a lot of low agility units. It's been, you know, 2-hit attacks that aren't very powerful. You know, we have Elsorel, but she's still 99. So once Elsorel gets her level 120, we're really going to be set up in a world where Light Element PvE chaining is probably going to be, I'm not going to say on par with Dark Element, but it's definitely getting there, especially when you factor in Locke's ability to use his Limit Burst, which is going to be called Sky Mirage Dive. It's going to decrease slash resistance 38% for 3 turns to target, reduce counter chance 100 for 3 turns to target. So you're going to be able to lower slash resistance with Locke. You're going to be able to, you know, lower light resistance if you're running, for example, Summer Kill Fae, right? And you're going to be able to cap damage that way. So the Light Element slash PvE chaining is actually getting a lot more powerful probably over the last 6 months. I know back in the day, Light Slash was really difficult to make work. You could do it, but like it was really a struggle. So I'm really excited to kind of see the direction that Locke is going to take light elements in. And I really think that the evasion that Locke brings and the kind of capability that he's going to bring to kind of the entire party is going to be really great for newer players, really great for players who maybe can't get a lot of good units or were unable to get GL Zazan, right? He's going to be able to fill in that gap, and he's going to almost level the playing field. It's really going to come down to kind of how his AI operates. And something in me keeps thinking about his Rising Sun ability decreasing 43% attack. And I keep thinking that, you know, we have a lot of breaks, we have a lot of barrier breaks in the game, but 43% attack is a lot. And I can't think of a time where we land like a 43% attack reduction on the opponent on a regular basis. And even if they do manage to hit Locke, he'll probably be able to survive if that does land. So pretty interesting to think about. Now, you do have to consider on the JP side, they do have like Setia, so they have access to lots of units with, you know, potentially 100% hit attacks. So you may be setting Nightblade just for the double resist to give the missile resistance plus 25% for 3 turns. That may be a reason to set Nightblade as well, so that you can counter potentially some of those Warriors of Crystals that have come out as well. Anyway, everybody, let me know what you think about Locke. I personally am super excited for him. I know you guys all want to, you know, talk about Terra and talk about Chaos Odin, and let me tell you, I want to talk about Chaos Odin as well, because I have some problems with Chaos Odin. But that's for another video. Thank you so much for watching, everybody, and I hope you guys all have a great rest of your day.